What is going on, everybody? Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this stream. Happy Thursday. Happy, pretty much midway through September. For all those singing along. Wake me up when September ends. Well, we are halfway there. September 14th. I'm recording this the morning of September 14th, and yeah, we can talk about crypto. We can talk about Splinterlands. You can see that there's a nice green candle on Bitcoin today. We're back up above 26.5, 26.6 to be exact. And, SPS is following suit. DEC is following suit. Vouchers, we'll come back to them. Hive is back up almost to 29 cents. So fantastic stuff. Even GLX, look, even GLX is getting a little bit of a pump here. For those playing Decrops, I've been meaning to make some Decrops content lately because there were some major updates, adding in a farmer's market and then the liquidity pool. So Decrops is quickly becoming another kind of DeFi, how do we put it? Like nice, like DeFi farming platform. Again, it's not, the same as Splinterlands in the sense that you're going to get rewards, but I do love what they have done there by incentivizing people to provide liquidity and therefore giving them rewards in game, and adding to their overall crop power, which I guess does pay out a little bit, but it's not, not anything too insane. Let's see here. Rift Watchers, on the other hand, we continue to burn. We are at 16.7% actually burned, but a total of 19% if you count what has been sent to the DAO. So, looking pretty good here. We're pretty much at, over 500,000 burned, which is insanity. We'll be hitting 20% very, very soon. And I see nothing. I see absolutely nothing that is going to get in the way of my prediction that we will end up burning over 50% of Rift Watchers. I really just cannot see the community buying like 400,000 more packs. So, I think that's where we're headed. All right, so hold on, let me just text someone back here. All right. So yeah, those are the main things. Tower defense is tower defense, node licenses, Chaos Legion packs, still sitting at about 2.8 million. I do want to know, and I'm wondering if the team can provide this info, when we will stop receiving Chaos Legion packs in the game, because in reward chest, I should say, because that will be not necessarily a huge moment. I don't know that it's going to have a major impact on like pack prices, for example, but for anybody out there that is still extracting value, and there's a lot of people that are probably playing in Wild, a lot of those bots that receive packs and are still able to sell them for like $1 a piece. It'll be nice to see that come to a halt. So, pack prices are literally just going to be there until, people come in and start buying them up. Golem Overlord. I keep forgetting to claim my stuff, but I think I did it this morning, so we're good. All right. Let me see who's here. We got Gathering the Magic. Good morning. Just playing Guild Brawls and jamming to Van Halen. Let's go. Great day so far. Land is almost here. Hype. Man, I think your comment got copied and pasted from a comment back in June. Or I should say May, actually. Yeah, but it's almost here. I believe it. I believe that it is almost here. We got to see Weirdbeard test out some of the things on stream or on the town hall earlier this week. So again, I'm setting myself up for disappointment, but my hope is that we do see it before the end of the month, specifically before the last town hall of this month, which I believe is on September 25th. So it would be great if, the team is in a position where they're ready to launch it on Mavs by next Tuesday. And then the last maintenance window, which would be, so that'd be the 19th, right? Hold on, let me check my calendar. Yeah, so that'd be the 19th. If they can launch it on Mavs on the 19th, and then we, launch it actually live on the 26th, that gives them a full week. It gives them about 5 days from now to get it ready for Mavs. And then, a full week after Mavs to get it live before the end of the month. I really, really personally would love to see that after all of the delays. And, ultimately, if the team gets it out that week, then that technically means they did get it out in Q3, as October is the first month of Q4. So Anand, what's going on? Anand, I'm sorry, I've not had a chance to check out the other game yet, but I will try to get to it probably this weekend. I just got family and stuff with me right now for the next couple of days. So, or today, tomorrow, and like early Saturday. Icy Flow, what's going on? Great time to pick up dollar chaos packs if you're still working on your chaos decks. Indeed. Man, so I don't know if you guys saw, we might be doing a special stream this Saturday. I got to double check with, well, I think Walking Keys is free. I got to double check with Darkest Night. I don't know if you guys saw the alien stuff from the Mexican government. They were releasing it yesterday. I mean, it looks so crazy. It's funny. Like, here's a government that's holding a hearing on UFOs and extraterrestrials. They showed bodies, they showed MRI scans and data or DNA analysis. I mean, it was just all this stuff. Now, I don't know. A lot of people are saying that it's still a hoax, but even if someone's hoaxing, like, tricking essentially like the Mexican government, the hearing was real, right? The hearing was very real. So I don't know. I'm going to dig into a little bit more. I told Darkest Night, and obviously Walking Keys and I were talking about it as soon as it came out in the morning. I was tweeting about it, and I was like, you know what? I think we are in need of another conspiracy theory stream. So that may be coming in on Saturday. I don't want to commit to it just yet. Although Walking Keys did say that we missed it last weekend. We should have done it last weekend, because every time, the first two that we've done, it's always been on the time whenever there's a UFC pay-per-view. And last Saturday was a phenomenal UFC pay-per-view, by the way. But we did not end up doing the stream on that day for obvious reasons. Well, actually, no, for non-obvious reasons. We should have done it. I just hadn't gotten around to thinking about it. All right, so BB Omega's in the house. Let's go. Good to see you here. Saw the alien bodies, the slow drip of releasing the truth on extraterrestrial life is here. Yep. Was just reading the Mexico thing, testing the waters to see the reactions. You know what's crazy? It's like they talked about it and nobody cares. Like here was a legitimate, I'm sure some people are going to come back and say no, but here's like a legitimate sovereignly recognized government, right? A neighbor of the US that is holding a hearing in a public government setting, right? Congress. And there's bodies revealed. And like I said, I think they had like MRI scans and DNA analysis, and they came to the conclusion that like 30% of the DNA was not part of like the Earth's evolutionary whatever. And I'm like, nobody cares. I mean, yeah, sure, it's like trending on Twitter, but it was trending like number 4. It was trending number 4, and I was on the phone with Darkest Night at the time, and I sent him, or I was talking to him. I'm just like, dude, this thing is trending, but it's trending at number 4. You know what's number 1? Sean Penn. What did Sean Penn do that is crazier than aliens? That is crazier than UFOs and extraterrestrials and all this stuff? But I actually still don't know what Sean Penn did to be trending number 1 that day or yesterday. But regardless, here we are, and hopefully if there's some interesting information that comes from it, then we'll have fun digging into it. If not, then we'll probably just cover moon stuff, because I know that's where we wanted to go. Virus is in the house. Let's go, Virus. It's a distraction to keep the far-right crazies from starting civil war. Maybe. All right, so are you saying the far-right crazies are also what's that called? Are they also UFO conspiracy theorists? Well, I guess a lot of people just paint the far right as conspiracy theorists in general. All right, I haven't done a calculation in a while. Let's see if we're still. Actually, you know what? You know what's an easy way to check if we've sold a lot of packs or not? The DEC in the Dow, which is currently sitting at 162 million. So no, we've only sold 2 million. Now let me see here. 15,000 times 5,000 equals 75 million. Holy moly. All right. So why is that number significant? Roughly every 75 million to the Dow, right? That's 15,000 packs, which means that we would increase speed up the launch by a day, right? Because we're burning 15,000 a day. So if you were to buy another 15,000, you would essentially move up whatever that, final burn date would be. but that's 75 million. So we've barely moved it 2 days. Like, that's just how little activity that there's been. Right? So it's what, a little bit over 30,000, maybe 31,000 packs sold to the Dow. So yeah, that's not a lot. So my guess is that we are probably still on pace then for October 10th or 11th, somewhere around that time. Ooh, Bitcoin's climbing. Let's go. So inflation came in high again yesterday. That's just going to be a battle I think we fight for the rest of the decade. But I don't know, man. If this means, if inflation is starting to go up, tick up a little bit again, we could see them bring the hammer down on raising. Well, I shouldn't say bring the hammer down, but we could see them going back to raising interest rates again, because things aren't broken enough if inflation is still going up or going back up, which means, the bull run might be postponed at least a little bit longer. Although, I generally think that nothing truly exciting is going to happen until after the Bitcoin halving, which, you know what? When is the next Bitcoin halving? Oh, I still got all caps on. Hold on. There's what is it, Coin Wars? Let's check the countdown. 224 days. So Friday. Oh, why was I thinking that it was at the beginning of April? You know what? Something must have slowed down. Oh, I think the hash rate is super high. So I wonder if it's just getting more difficult and that slowed down some of the blocks. Wow. All right. Well, either way, April 26th, as of today. Obviously, that's a moving target, as the blocks aren't perfectly 10 minutes, but we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. All right. So, hey, what's up, Powis? Good to see you here. DJ's in the house. Let's go. When land, man. Dude, if I knew the answer to that question, I'd probably be a millionaire right now, because I would have traded it so well. I would have shorted all of you guys back in April or whenever, when things were at a little bit of a high. I would have shorted you guys again in July when SPS shot up to whatever. So yeah, no, I genuinely don't know. BB Omega says the bull run is waiting for you to make the Bull Daddy mug before it starts. All right. Yes, that's something that I've been meaning to get around to. Oh, so I believe that there's a shop that was I think is now set up. So if someone can just go confirm, I think if you look in, actually I could probably check it here. I think if you look in like the description or somewhere, I was able to set up a shop through Splinterlands. Sorry, not through Splinterlands, through what's that called? Through YouTube, one of YouTube's partners. All right. I guess it's not like easily there. Let's see. Is it on my profile? Store. Oh, sweet. Okay. So yeah, if you go to the channel, the main channel profile, and you go to store, I set up some basic merch there. So, but that's where I need to get the Bull Daddy mug ready, because I set that up because I just want to have some fun merch on there. Probably some Holy Auto Tuna stuff in the future too. So, okay, how do I get back to the stream? There we go. But yeah, when BB Omega, when I make that Bull Daddy mug, we'll make it available there. All right. DJ says, I disagree on nothing happening until BTC halving. I think this cycle people try and front run the halving, then FOMO kicks in. Okay, so I don't disagree with your premise. In fact, I'm openly hoping that you are right, DJ. But here's the thing, right? I agree with you that a lot of people are going to front run it. And it's just like when everybody's expecting one thing, the opposite always happens, right? So not that like the market can be like super, super manipulated, although obviously it is quite manipulated. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see the Bitcoin ETF, the spot Bitcoin ETF, get approved until February. Now, I believe February are the final dates, right, for a lot of those ETFs, meaning that, the SEC doesn't necessarily need to make a decision on like there's dates every month pretty much where it's just like we can make a decision on this date or we can delay. We can make a decision on this date or delay. So I think the final date that they have to make a decision by for a lot of the ETFs that were set up is in February, which is 2 months before the halving. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to keep the price down artificially until then. And we keep seeing, FUD storms and massive sell-offs. And again, just price manipulation that forces everything down until that time, right? February, or we'll just say like Q1 of next year. And the reason for that is because, well, they can continue to load up on these cheaper prices. But once the halving actually hits, we'll feel the impact of that supply shock, right? Miners first will feel the impact of that supply shock. And, hopefully the madness ensues from there, just based on history. But, past performance is not a guarantee of future returns. So I do hope you are correct that we will see the front running of the Bitcoin halving, because I think that there's a lot more people that stayed engaged this cycle versus last cycle, me being one of them, right? And Splinterlands is probably a big reason for that. But it's, I don't know. Just depends on what type of market dynamics we end up seeing. Also, if the macro continues to collapse, then I don't know what happens there. I'm still waiting to see if there's going to be continued fallout from like the banking collapses that happened earlier this year. But that could take a while, right? That could be not this month, not next month, maybe even just early next year. But one important data point that I heard recently, which I thought was interesting in the context of like the US economy. So this may not apply to everybody, but obviously the US economy is such a large percentage of the entire global economy. Somebody was saying that if you look at the US economy from a goods perspective, we are in a product recession, right? So technically, if you look at it and you look at China, production, all that, we are in a product or a goods recession, meaning that, we've already passed that. But the reason that the U.S. economy looks so good is because the U.S. economy is so heavily dependent on services, and services are not necessarily in a recession right now. So I'm just ignorantly repeating what I've heard. I thought it was I haven't looked into the data yet, but it does say that like, hey, there's, what it says to me is like, we're kind of in that iceberg moment where we know that under the water things aren't great, but we just don't know when and what we're going to hit. Right. I think I've heard that like, real estate loans are well, not real estate, but like credit card loans are at all-time highs. Student loans aren't in a good place. Auto loans aren't in a good place. Obviously, with the raised interest rates, a lot of people who had not fixed but variable loans on their homes are going to be in trouble, probably, right? So I don't know. It's an interesting time. A little bit of I don't want to say scary, but definitely anxious, right? And it's funny because I talk to Darkest Night about this all the time, and we both feel the same way, where it's just like, I don't know, man. We feel like we're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Like, what's going to happen, right? And then next year being an election year here in the U.S., like, the rhetoric is going to ramp up on both sides, and that's just not, let's just say over the last 8 years, the rhetoric has not been phenomenal, especially when it comes to, political disagreements. So I don't know. I guess it's time to store some rice and beans in the basement. BB Mega says Shopify. Wibble Wee, what's going on, Wibble? Mystic Force, good to see you here. Known for knowledge, bull run canceled. See you in 2030. Man, I hope not. I really hope we get. I really hope we get something in 2024, 2025. Now, here's the thing: Bitcoin has never existed, right? It's only been around for 14 years, so it's never existed in a macro bear market. So the interesting thing that's we're all going to see over the next really 2 years at this point is if Bitcoin, if the economy doesn't recover, right, in any significant way, and it doesn't even need to like recover a lot. It could just be if it bottoms out and all of a sudden it's like, okay, well, now we rebuild from here, start lowering interest rates. Like that'll be helpful for all, risk on assets, because then everybody comes back in and they're looking to be, see like what's going to pop off during the next bull, right? That's people wait for the pivot essentially. But if it doesn't happen and we continue to see, a lot of downward pressure, what does that do to the Bitcoin cycle, right? The 4-year cycle. I personally wouldn't be surprised if like we didn't hit a new all-time high, right? Mainly because everybody would be expecting it. Now, I'm not trying to be bullish on Bitcoin. I'm just saying that if the macro headwinds are so strong, just so strong, and money's not flying around in any significant way during the time that is generally considered like the Bitcoin bull run, we feel the supply shock from the halving, which again is less than a year out. It's about 8 months away. And then of course, the supply shock will be felt in the 6 to 18 months afterwards. But if it's not, right, if we don't feel it, I could see where like, Bitcoin gets close. Like we go from 25K up to like 60, maybe even 65K. But maybe we top out there, right? So it would still be an exciting time because all of a sudden, Bitcoin jumping up, everybody gets super hyped, super amped, but it's happening during the backset, with the backdrop, I should say, of, a macro bear economy, like a la, Great Depression style things, if things continue to collapse and they're not fixed appropriately. So again, I don't know what happens. I'm just saying that I'm expecting something from Bitcoin, even if it's not an all-time high. I'm expecting some kind of run. And most of that is probably just going to be driven from people like us, right? We're all going to try and front run it, right? Who's not accumulating Bitcoin right now? And who wouldn't be accumulating if we thought, oh my gosh, it's time, right? At the moment you see Bitcoin hit like 30 and then 40, everybody here is going to be like, oh, a bull run back on, right? We're going back to 70K, which means if I buy now, right? If I buy now, I'm going to double my money. So people start to ape in with that mentality. And then of course you're going to get all the Bitcoin permabulls talking about, 100K this cycle, 1 million this cycle, 800,000 this cycle. And, everybody gets super insane about that. But very fair point, says DJ. Things never play out the way most people expect them to. Indeed. All right. Known for knowledge, JK 2025 should be interesting. Elections move markets. So that's another hope. That's another bullish thing here, at least in the US. Not getting political, but it really doesn't matter who's in office. It's just the last couple of years haven't been great, really since, 2020. Things have been in a weird place, but obviously following 2020 or the end of 2021, things have been in a downturn. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the Biden administration try to pump it up just to get everybody, I guess excited or feeling like the last 4 years were productive. So BB Mega, when stimulus checks? Oh man. I mean, if they shut down the economy again, I don't know if you've been hearing the rumors about that new variant and all that, but if they shut down the economy again, maybe some stimulus checks then. Icy Flow says, baby boomers are dying out. We're having the largest transfer of wealth ever. The wealthy are sowing doubt to grab a larger share of it. Well, I don't disagree with that. This is going to be the largest transfer of wealth ever. The question then becomes is where do Gen X and millennials, right, who are probably inheriting the majority of this wealth, where do they end up allocating in the future? Like what percentage of, Gen X and millennials are into crypto, into Bitcoin, right, specifically, but then crypto more broadly? Known for knowledge says 1970s went sideways for 13 years. Can you imagine? Yeah, see, like, dude, Japan was going sideways for 30 years, right? So I think since the 90s, they were going sideways. And now, like, last couple of years have changed things, but it's not unprecedented, we'll call it, right? But the truth is that they will continue printing money for any and all problems that come up. That is just where they have painted themselves into a corner. And not just the US, but like every government is going to stimulate their economy the only way they know how. But US is just doing it somewhat egregiously. So the question becomes, after printing money, what are the hard assets you are buying? What's the hardest asset out there? And don't say SPS, because it's not SPS. It's Bitcoin. All right, the economy will stay strong until 2035. You think so, Icy Flow? Icy Flow, you've been correct on some of your calls. I gotta give you a shout out here. A while back, you called Genesis League down to 0.003. I did not believe it because we had dropped from 30 cents to 3 cents, which was already a 90% downturn. And then when you called this, I was like, is that really going to be a 99% downturn? But hey, here we are. Here we are. So kudos on that. Whose economy? I was talking about the US, but you can probably apply it to a lot of different countries. Odic, what's going on? Bitcoin should hit anywhere from 80K to 120K in the bull run, but anything can happen in 2 years. Yeah. I mean, I hope so. I'm obviously a long-term Bitcoin bull. I think Bitcoin will go to $1 million one day, but I don't think that, everybody who's screaming that we're going to have some massive God green candle that just shoots us up to whatever. I don't think that necessarily happens. It's not like they're printing money in that way, right? Obviously 2021 was a huge, 2021 was a huge, I mean, the 2020 and then 2021 was a huge stimulus, but it's it'll get there eventually. And we'll need a lot of the, let's just be real, a lot of the shit coins out there to die out, right? So not everybody's going to make it, and people are going to throw money at a bunch of different projects, right? So Splinterlands being one of them, right? When you get your paycheck, are you buying Bitcoin or are you buying, credits in Splinterlands? Or are you buying SPS? That's the question. And again, I'm not trying to say it's SPS versus Bitcoin, but there's a lot of other games out there that have a version of SPS that, people believe in, but may not make it and will not make it, right? So that value essentially goes to zero as people, whoever made the game or whales, whatever, exit with that, and probably they go back to Bitcoin at some point, but we'll see. What's going on, International Travel Channel? Guten Abend. Good to see you. Trump gets in and the Dems will tank the market. Dems get in and they'll close all their shorts and send it to all-time highs. Well, the Dems are in now. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but I will say this. I got my popcorn ready. I think it's going to be crazy. I think it's going to be crazy. So, Carlo, what's going on? Buying silver and brass. That's another good strategy. Buy SPL assets to flip into BTC. Yeah, so I was talking to Darkest Night about this recently. Hopefully he doesn't mind me mentioning this. But it was the idea that I gave him, right? Because we were talking about the returns that you could get from the game, right? Or just in general. Because one of the big issues, especially in this kind of mood for gaming, crypto, all of that, is, did I make the wrong decision, right? What was the opportunity cost, right? Even I'm facing that, right? Even I'm facing that. But it's at the beginning of the year, if I had put, X amount of dollars into Bitcoin versus X amount of dollars into Splinterlands, right? Or sorry, not Splinterlands, but specifically SPS, although I'm sure all of Splinterlands applies. Bitcoin is up almost 2x, right? And we went from 15K, we were actually over 2x, above 30K for a little while. Whereas SPS at the beginning of the year was I think over 2 cents, and now we're down, right? So same thing with GLX, same thing with probably a lot of other smaller tokens out there. Excuse me. So I was talking to him about this, and I was like, all right, you have to look at it in a different way. And, one of the things that he and I were doing, even going back to last year, is you take your ice cream money, right? I'm religious about ice cream money. Now, whatever you do with your ice cream money, it doesn't matter, but it's just you're realizing some of the gains from playing the game, right? Or from some of the investments that you have. If you're getting SPS in one way or another, from brawls, from ranked, from liquidity pools, whatever it is. So I was trying to explain to him that I think everybody should be. Well, not everybody, but I was telling him, right, specifically, I'm like, you should probably be taking some off the table. And instead of like turning it into ice cream money where you cash it out for, USD, just buy Bitcoin with it. And then I was like, that way you can view your card collection, all of the assets that you have in the game as essentially like, a parallel Bitcoin miner, right? You're mining Bitcoin by playing a game. You own your assets within the game, and hopefully they at least retain their value, if not go up. But over time, right, you take a piece of those earnings and you buy some Bitcoin with it. And therefore, in a way, it's like I view my card collection, I view the things that I own in Splinterlands, even land to a certain extent, is just like, oh, well, this is all a Bitcoin miner for me, right? I'm just having fun with it. I earn a little bit, and then I buy some Bitcoin sometime with that, but I don't know. That was kind of the idea that I was like presenting to him. He's like, you know what? I like that. He's like, I'm gonna have an ETH miner. so I think he's buying ETH with it. Hold on, let me see. Someone's calling me, but I'm gonna try and see if I can call them later. All right, where are we at? Beans, rice, and vouchers. All you need. The whole like broken clock thing, gathering the magic. Like one day vouchers are going to shoot up to like 50 cents, and you're going to be like, I told you so. And I'm going to be like, well, a broken clock is right twice a year or whenever they release a new set. But, it is interesting to think about how, I don't know, I haven't really run the numbers on this, but it is interesting to think about how many vouchers will be required for a rebellion presale. So I don't know how many packs they're planning in total. I don't know how many packs for a presale. I don't know, what the appetite for new packs will be necessarily. But if I think back to 2021, I believe we bought packs before we even knew what was in them. I don't know that the team can do that again. Can somebody help me remember? Because my memory isn't, 100%. But we were buying packs as early as October, right? Mid-October is when I believe the presale went live. And I don't think they had all the card stats ready yet. So we were just going in buying packs, $30 packs, right? $4 plus the $24 for the pack plus $25 for vouchers. It was insanity. It was absolute insanity. I don't think that they could do that again, right? I think they're going to have to reveal some of the cards that will be coming in order to entice people. But, I don't know. I don't know what the overall plan is. My ice cream money is going to Splinter Ice Cream. Okay. So you're just keeping it in the same place. Oh, Kazrak's in the house. What's going on? Dem shorted the top almost perfectly. Weird. How did they know? Well, there's a great like graphic that I saw. I don't know if it's a meme, but it's just like a graphic that I saw shared on Twitter. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter, X. But that's just like Mitch McConnell and Nancy Pelosi started in Congress X amount of years ago with like, I think it's like $4 million in terms of like their overall net worth. Fast forward to today, they have hundreds of millions of dollars in their net worth, yet their salary was like less than $200,000 per year. And it's like, oh, damn. How did that happen? How do you get crazy outsized returns like that? So yes. How do they know? I don't know. I'm playing Main City, a Chronos game, tycoon style that pays in CRO. Oh, I didn't know they were doing a game. It's been fun. Competitive mode coming soon. All right, here comes the competition. Our channel. Oh, you guys are talking. Whoa, Carlo, I did not know you were German. That's pretty cool. All right, map server this Tuesday. What's up, Aaron? Yeah, I hope so. I can neither confirm nor deny, mainly because I do not know. Blockchain projects, what's up? I stacked nearly 9,000 vouchers. Everyone wouldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole at the moment. So unloved, it has to be a buy. Yeah, I just don't have the same faith in them that you do. So, I mean, as long as you didn't buy them, it's fine. All right. I mean, at this point, I'm not selling mine either because I'm curious to see what happens with Rebellion just around the corner. We were buying Dr. Blight packs. Dr. Blight did look good, and I'm sure whatever what's that called? If they do some kind of promo for the pre-sale, they'll show that. But I would really want to know like what's in the packs. They need to hype up to sell packs. They do, which is why like, land, as opposed to what Darkest Night says, land 2024, I really don't think we're going to get land 2024. If they're trying to get Rebellion out this year, there's no way that land doesn't come out before Rebellion. I just think the team releases a voucher store and they have daily use, then they'll appreciate it nicely. To me, it's a no-brainer, so grab them at cheap prices. Oh, Gather the Magic. How I want you to be right. How I want you to be right. I'm waiting for voucher discounts on time crystals. I wonder if that'll happen. Time crystals are what, 100 DEC? I mean, as a non-major landholder, I hope that doesn't come soon because I really want people to burn DEC. I could give two shits about vouchers at this point. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I want vouchers to do well, but they don't fit anywhere. All they do is take utility away from other things. So I want them to find creative, more unique ways. Like even in the future, let's say skins come into the mix, right? Why wouldn't we want people spending DEC instead of vouchers, right? Even this re-rolling of your what's that called? This re-rolling of your focus that's going to come into the mix. Why wouldn't we want people spending DEC? Like that's the whole part of the flywheel. The voucher is not part of the flywheel. Like it's a benefit for holding SPS, but once again, there's just too many being printed. Known for knowledge. Yep. All right. The town hall preview rubric looks promising. I agree. My hope is that we do. I mean, I don't know if you heard it earlier, but my hope was similar to your timeline. I think exactly. My timeline was similar to exactly what you were saying, where I hope over the next, 5 days until the 19th, which is next Tuesday, they will be able to get it ready for Mavs and then have it do a week in Mavs and then come out on the 26th before the end of the month. That's my personal hope, but we'll see. Time crystals are going to fly off the shelves when land 1.5 hits and people realize the power of them. They will help push DEC up. Yeah, I hope so. I hope we burn a ton of DEC with time crystals, just because people are going to look at that and be like, I want my land done now, right? It's 100 DEC. It's 10 cents, or not even, right? It's 7 cents with DEC at below peg. So from my bulk buy of Rift Watchers, I've sold 400 in the market for around $3.34-ish. That's not bad. I think you came out ahead, right? I mean, that's the thing. Most of these pre-sales, most of these large buys are going to be dominated by whales because they want to take advantage of all of the airdrops, and then they can sell the packs, not necessarily at a loss, but definitely much cheaper on the secondary market and slowly make everything back and still come out ahead just because they got a massive amount of airdrops. You're Austrian. Okay, cool. Good to know. Oh, cut off the end of my message from Watcher sales. I'm putting it into Bitcoin. Oh, nice. Well, there you go. Long term, I think you'll be happy. All right, it doesn't matter what's in the packs. Look at Blight and Oshur. What's in the packs will be there always. Yeah, but I guess what I'm trying to get at here is for the people out there who aren't going to buy 250 packs per, or no, I think it was it's 50 packs per Dr. Blight, right? And I think another 50 packs for Oshur. What if somebody doesn't want to buy 50 packs is what I'm getting at. Because 50 packs is still $200, $250. And if somebody wants to just drop, for a couple of packs, what kind of incentive will there be for the people who want to buy like less than 25 or 30 packs, that they can still feel like they're getting something rather than just like a lottery ticket? Also, don't forget the fight for designing a card. That could, yeah, if they do that again for Rebellion, that could be a thing. They're gonna have to gamify it some way, right? And we know that there's people that we know that there's big spenders in the game that will go out and chase these things, which is great because them chasing the vanity helps stabilize and improve the economy all around. I mean, like somebody burned like 70 million DEC. Was a housewife for the win, burned like 70 million DEC in the Great Burning. Like that's $70,000 with DEC at Peg. If you can imagine that, it's just outrageous. I can't imagine burning $70,000 worth of value. Unreal. All right, guys. Well, today's stream is going to be a little bit shorter than usual, so I think I'm going to have to start wrapping up soon. But I just did want to come in and check in with you all, get a little, mid-September hype into the mix, and see where everybody's at, where they're, how they're feeling. I know a lot of the comments that have been coming in to the videos. There's obviously a lot of salt still out there, and I don't think that necessarily goes away until the team can deliver land and we see what the impacts are. But that could still be a couple weeks away. That could still be a couple months away. I don't know. I don't know. I'll say this though. It's like, okay, the last town hall was at least like a little bit more hype because we saw a working version of land. It's like, what can they do in the next town hall to get people hyped if land is not ready yet? And what I mean by that is like land is not going to come out by the 26th. All right. What would get you hyped in the town hall if they're like, yeah, we're still working on land, right? If they said we're still working on land, I guess like how would you, what would need to happen for you to come away being like, all right, yeah, they're still working on land, but I'm excited for, I don't know, X, Y, and Z. All right, Kazrak, yeah, for some reason, I was really bearish this weekend, but whatever. We'll get there eventually. Land is looking great. Yep, we'll get there eventually is probably the key word. Virus says land 2.0 white paper. That'd be cool, but at the same time, it's like, dude, drop land 1.5 first, and then let us like get crazy about that, and then let us sink into 2.0. Although, you know what, Virus? I take that back. A lot of people are making moves specifically for land 1.5 right now that are probably going to be drastically different in strategy when 2.0 comes around. And, mainly talking about all of the different resources that will be there and all the different types of, plans that they have for Secret of Praetoria buildings and castles and keeps and all that. So maybe if they do get that out before 1.5 drops, that will recalibrate what everybody's doing for 1.5. So I guess I wouldn't mind it coming out beforehand, but it's like at the same time, it's like, don't put the cart before the horse. All right, Aaron, I expected this answer more often than not. That really it's just land at this point, or don't have the town hall, as Darkest Night says. Oh man. All right, so Matt being there will hype me up. Yeah, I mean, I really hope he's on because he hasn't been on in like 3 months at this point. So if he is not on, then that's going to be a big miss. So even if he's there to just talk about land 2.0, that'd be cool. But yeah, Aggie serving me waffles would go a long way. Hey man, anybody serving you waffles, right? They shouldn't do any more town halls before 1.5 gets out. It's getting depressing. I don't disagree with you discussing Splinterlands. It's like there's two reasons, right? One is your reason that it's just like it's so tough to like come on and be like soon for 2 hours, right? Soon for 2 hours. And then on top of that, it's just like, the team's time is valuable. So if like, not that Weirdbeard or Aggie are necessarily like working on land directly, but it's like, I don't know, save the time we prefer to know that, it's just being worked on. Dang it, couldn't hear the answer. I blame BioBreak. Oh. Blockchain Project says, my crypto is on Matt joining next town hall for a special live stream for LAN 1.5. That would be fantastic. I really hope he does. It'd just be good to hear from Matt, because like hasn't even really been talking in Mav chat or anywhere. So I want to see where his head's at on all the stuff that's going on Splinterlands related, what he's got down, what he's got in terms of like design down the road. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. This was short and sweet. I won't be able to stream tomorrow. Not that I normally stream Fridays. Saturday, like I said, we may be doing, I don't want to commit to it yet, just until I know the others can make it, but we may be doing our third conspiracy theory stream. For those of you who came late, I don't know if you saw all the stuff with the Mexican government unveiling alien bodies that they discovered in a mine. But we are Keys and I were talking about that for a long time yesterday. Then Darkside and I were on the phone as well. He's like, I got to dig into this if I'm going to talk about it. It doesn't look real. So we may just use the time to like dig into it and chat with you guys. So if we do that, it'll be Saturday night. And then of course, Sunday morning is when we do our usual tournaments. And I will be here this Sunday morning to run some tournaments with you guys before week 2 of the NFL takes off. But have a fantastic rest of your day. Sorry, Gregory's just joining. But Aaron says, hopefully next Tuesday, when I see your next stream, we will have LAN to Mavs. I hope so. I really, really do hope so. But have a fantastic rest of your day. Let me know how things are going, and a good start to your weekend. I'll be out with some content hopefully later today. But in case you missed me, that'll be coming soon. Peace.